Hi, everybody. I'm Paula with the Atlantic Institute. I want to thank you for coming to our cultural creations class where we're going to draw this wonderful, fuzzy bunny that's here behind me. I got the wrong hand going. There we go. The Atlantic Institute is a nonprofit organization that promotes positive dialogue between different cultures, faiths, meeting your next door neighbor, anything like that. We do these programs. We do several a month, and we record most of them, and they are on our Atlantic Institute SC YouTube channel. Also, if you are just joining us and you haven't put where you're from in the chat, if you would go ahead and do that, it lets my advisory board know where everybody's coming from and that we should continue doing these globally and virtually. So I want to thank you all for doing that. I am still letting everybody in, but while we're still getting everybody in, I am going to show you a short video about the Atlantic Institute, just a couple minutes. So let me hit my share screen here. And it is that one. Share.
The Atlantic Institute is a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting harmonious coexistence between peoples of various cultures, faiths, and backgrounds. We seek this goal through peaceful dialogue, education initiatives, and community organization. Our dialogue events bring together experts, community and faith leaders, and knowledge seekers to address social issues that affect us all. We feel dialogue is the most important element in peaceful coexistence, so we try and maintain several panel discussions, TED Talk events, and book clubs throughout the year. These events touch on social issues, race relations, and cultural understanding and are a mainstay of our programming. The Atlantic Institute's education events are extremely important to our mission of understanding. We want to promote socially forward critical thinking to students of all ages. To that end, we have developed programs that seek to grow the creative spirit of students and help them think about their communities and the world around them. Our Future Leaders of Dialogue event brings together nominated elite students to learn from each other as well as political and business leaders. Our art and essay contest gives students a theme about important societal issues and allows them to create wonderful works of art and writing while steering their minds towards improving their world. We're always seeking ways to educate youths and adults in order to make a peaceful world for all of us. Our community events are designed to transform neighbors into friends and groups of people into a community. By associating with other nonprofits or by our own initiative, we are always trying to discover new avenues to improve our neighborhoods, places of worship, and community centers. We host cooking demonstrations of food from other cultures, work with various nonprofits to help elevate the work of others, and try to find a way to make the lives of those who are disenfranchised or marginalized better. Building a more peaceful world starts in our backyards, so we are dedicated to improving our communities and associations. The Atlantic Institute is always seeking like-minded volunteers and collaborators. If you would like to learn more, find volunteer opportunities, or just want to chat with our staff, please visit our website at www.atlanticinstitutesc.org or follow us on Facebook. We will never run out of fun, educational, peaceful events, so come join us to help make this world a better place full of understanding and unity.
Woo! Adapted.
All right. So with that being said, where we leave, where he said we were looking for volunteers, we are not only looking for volunteers now, we've decided to expand our personnel base. And so if you live in the United States, in the Central, Mountain, or Pacific time zone, put your email address into me and I will send you the application form where we're hiring event planners. No experience necessary. We will train. It's usually about for 8 hours, 8 hours a week, not a week, I'm sorry, 8 hours for one event kind of thing. And there's more information that we will share. So, all right, so I am going to turn this over to our instructor for the day, Studi, and she is going to show us how to make this wonderful fuzzy bunny.
Hi everyone, can everyone hear me? If you can, please just give me a thumbs up so I know everyone can hear me. Awesome. So my name is Tootie, as Paula just mentioned, and I am based in Calgary. I'm a mixed media artist. Perfect. Thank you so much, Alexander. And I'm a mixed media artist. I primarily like to paint on canvases, but I have started to expand a little bit as well, and I'm now doing murals as well. So if you guys are interested in following me on social media, I can type my social media in the chat there. So it's Stuti Gupta, so STUTI GUPTA.arts. That's my Instagram. So I can maybe just type my whole Instagram if that works. And then you guys, if anyone has questions, oh, I think it's only going to direct messages to me. That's really weird. Paula, are you able to send it to everyone? I think like the messages are only going to me for some reason.
You have to click on the bottom in the message. There's a to thing and it'll say to everyone or to you.
I said everyone.
Huh.
Weird. Okay, we can figure that out later. The icon is blue. Who can see your messages? I'm not sure. It says direct message. Maybe I close the chat. Okay, well, anyway, we'll try to figure it out after the class. I can try to send it after the class, or Paula can send it later. It doesn't matter. Okay, well, I'm really excited to start the class, and we'll start the class right away. We'll draw the fuzzy bunny. I'll start my screen over there. So you guys can see both my face, what I'm doing, and you can see me drawing on the screen here as well. You should be able to see both of them. Can you put the spotlight on the screen, maybe, if you can find it? It's kind of lost in on all the people. Are you able to find my screen? There we go, I found it. Okay, perfect. So I have a sketch pad, like a tone tan paper here, but you guys can use anything you guys want. You can even use printer paper if that's what you have. I will be using the 2B pencil. And I've already sharpened it with a knife and sanded it with sandpaper. But you guys can use any pencil. If you only have mechanical pencil, that's all you can use as well. And then also be using kneaded eraser, but you guys can use any eraser, white eraser works as well. So we'll get into it right away. Make sure you also have, can you put the reference on as well, Paula? Like, is it possible to have the screen and the reference? Just so the people can see like what they're drawing as well. Like put yourself, if you can put yourself so people can see what your drawing was, because you had the drawing in the background. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. Great. Okay. So what we want to do is we're gonna divide the paper in half, and we're going to make a straight line from where our bunny is going to be. So that's going to be the top of our, so this is going to be the top of our bunny, and this is going to be the bottom of our bunny, okay? And we just kind of want to draw a straight line. Just as a guide. So we know that that's where our bunny is going to lie, okay? And then we want to divide this line into 1/3, approximately 1/3, so that we know that's where our bunny's head is going to lie. Okay, so that's where our bunny's head is going to, this is our bunny's head area. Or maybe even actually a little bit bigger than that. That's a little bit too small, so maybe even a little bit bigger here. That's our bunny's head. And then we want to divide it in another 1/3. So that's where our bunny's feet are going to start. So that's where our bunny's feet are going to start, and that's where our bunny's body is kind of going to lay, okay? And then we want to divide this first third into thirds as well. Just from the
Sorry to
top here.
interrupt, but can you
Oh, sorry, is there a
refocus?
question?
Yeah, you just need to refocus so we're not seeing the host. So we're seeing the sheet that you're drawing on. Because we see the host, which we don't need.
Oh, you're not seeing, you're seeing the sheet? That's what you need.
Now it's focused. There you go. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good.
They didn't want to see the reference, so.
Well, then you don't want to see the reference. Okay, no worries. So sorry, you wanted to divide the first third into another third. So that's kind of where your eyes and the forehead are kind of going to lie. Even that's even really small, actually. Not very good at measuring right away. There you go. And then you want to draw, so between the second thirds, you want to divide that in half and kind of take up the whole page. And that's like the width of your bunny. So that's the biggest part of your bunny. That's where your most of your body is going to lie for your bunny. Okay. And then you want to take the top third that we divided in for the head, and you want to draw an oval. But you want to draw an oval that's kind of lying slantly. So you can draw like the guidelines for the oval, and then you're just drawing the oval. So that's the bunny's face, the bottom part of his face. Okay, so just kind of like that. After you're done drawing the oval, just kind of where the oval ends and joins with this top part here, you kind of want to take your line and meet it up with this central line here. And then just draw your face. Drop it down to another side, just like that. And then we'll draw the body. So we want to draw from the oval, not the whole way. So kind of starting at the base of the oval here, not where the oval ends again, but like kind of where the, just kind of drop a line here. No. So. And then we just want to draw another circle here all the way. So another oval, actually, not a circle. So kind of like another oval here for the body. Try to make it a little bit wider at the top, and then it comes down and becomes a little bit narrower. Like that, in the middle, a lot wider, and then becomes narrower at the top and at the bottom here, and at the bottom here. And then where the wide part, where we drew the wide line, we'll draw another kind of a semicircle, I'd say. So I'm going to draw on my tape a little bit, since I didn't give myself enough room for the body. And then just connect it down to the bottom. And you can give it kind of a straight edge here. Don't have to make it roundish where the body is. So this is where the leg will start kind of. So you don't want to give it like a roundish edge. You can give it a straight edge here. And then round off at the bottom and at the top. Actually, I was supposed to make this wider, so sorry. So let's actually make this wider here. So where the oval for the head stops, we'll make this wider. So we'll take this oval where we had make those skinnier oval, we'll actually erase that and make this wider for the body for this part. Because we're actually able to see more of this side of the body than we are this side of the body. We're able to see the back legs of this side, but we're not able to see the back legs of this side. We're seeing body more on this side. So draw it a little bit wider, sorry. So right here, like that. And then we'll draw the ears for the bunny. So where the forehead lines were in the beginning, we'll just take and drop a line at the kind of in the middle there, starting in the middle there, and then just drop it below the oval for the head. Another line going down that way, and then just bring it back and attach it to the oval. Give it kind of a straight lines. You don't want to make them super curvy. You want to keep it as straight as you can. In nature, there are not really that many actually curved lines. We just, human eyes just perceive them as curves. In nature, there are actually straight lines more. So, and for the other side here, we'll do the same
They're
thing.
asking if you would go just a little bit slower.
Oh, sorry. What step are we missing? What step should I rephrase? Should I go back to any step?
If you could just go a bit slower, we don't need any other steps, but just a bit slower.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, I'll try to go a bit slower. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome.
Okay, so if you've done the ear, I'll let you guys catch up on the ear there a bit. Oh, speak louder. Okay. Sorry. I usually speak very much softer even than this. This is pretty loud for me, so I'll try to project my voice further if I can. Okay, has everyone caught up? Can I get like few thumbs up so I know that I can go, or if I should wait? Sweet, I've seen few thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, I'll start going, and then if you need me to stop, just say again. Yes, okay, sweet. So again, on the other side, we'll do the same thing. We'll just drop the ear down on the other side as well. Past the oval, and we want to kind of go past this ear. So you notice where this ear ends, kind of go make a diagonal line and go past this ear, because the bunny is tilted slightly. So you want to give that impression that this ear is falling a little bit lower. Okay. So I'll let you guys catch up on that. And you can make him as fat as you want. You can make him as skinny as you want. If you want to give him a little bit more chubbiness, you can round it up a little bit. Body. Don't have to do exactly how I make my bunny. It's your bunny, make it however you want. Okay, so I'm hoping everyone's caught up on this ear. We'll move on to the feet now. So we'll start with the feet on this side. Just kind of at the bottom quarter here from the last third here, like let's just measure a quarter, and that's where our feet will begin. So we'll start our feet here. Again, I'll draw on a little bit on the tape because I didn't give myself enough room. And this kind of shape of a foot here. And then we'll cover it up with the shading so it looks more natural. So this foot is facing to the right. So we want to curve the lines out and then curve out this feet, make like a little U shape, make a little horseshoe shape here to give the impression that feet is facing towards the right. And then this feet, it's actually coming out towards us from the central line. So we'll just bring it down, draw to kind of like cylindrical shapes here. And then just make a horseshoe shape, like a U shape facing towards us. So it gives an impression that this foot is facing us and not pointed anywhere. So you guys can see like how this foot kind of looks like it's coming toward, it's facing us, and this one looks like it's facing towards the right, and it's coming behind his body, and this one is in front of his body. So just emphasize this part of body a little bit, so that's what looks like it's behind his body. Okay. And then we'll finish the back of his body and take that straight edge that's where the foot was coming. Drop a line behind because this is a behind foot. And bring it towards us. So we can actually see his paws on this side. So we'll connect this to, not really to his body, but almost to his body, close to his body. And then we'll give kind of like that foot paw shape in the back there. They have three digits there in the back, so give that shape. Like that. And then connect this back to his body. Okay, and then you can, this foot, because it's coming from the forward, it's going to connect to his body. Like that. Or I guess that would be his arm, not his foot. It's going to connect to his body like that. Okay. Have I lost anyone at this point? Should I keep going, or does anyone need some time to catch up? Have I lost you, Dylan? Is that what the yes is for? Okay, what can I do to unlose you? Can I help you, Dylan? No? Okay, I'll move on then. If okay, I'll slow down. Okay. Sorry, I'll let everyone, I'll give a few minutes to catch up. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be refining my drawing a little bit. Back foot, please. Okay. So I'll explain how to do the back foot again. So I'll erase this part and then we'll do it again together. Please push clipboard up so I can see bottom. Okay. Let me arrange my camera a bit. How is that? Is that better? Perfect. Okay, sweet. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so let's erase the back foot again. And so where we did the back where we did the back curve here and where we dropped the straight line. From there, we're just going to drop the back foot. So we're going to drop it just a diagonal there, like that. And then put here. And because as I mentioned last time, we can see its paws on the front here. So we're just going to bring this. You want to bring it close to the body, but not really touching the body. And then just draw 3 digits, smaller digit. There is a reference photo, but someone else had asked for no reference. So maybe if Paula can put up the reference photo again, just for a little bit, and then we can switch back to the full screen, just so people know what they're kind of looking at. That would be cool. Oh, cool. Can people see now what the reference is?
We can see your back again. We can't see the drawing. We just would like to see your back. We can't see anything else. Your back's highlighted, but not the art.
My back?
Yeah, we can see you now. See you drawing, but we can't actually see the picture.
Huh.
I have
Sorry
a
about that.
suggestion.
Okay, so I'm going to stop my video then from the, and then you should only be able to see my screen. Can you see only my screen now?
You can share it in the chat, maybe if someone's got it, just upload it in the chat and people can get it from there, maybe. Thank you.
Okay, let me see if I can.
And also people can take a snapshot of the reference, a print screen of the reference.
Yeah, if Paula, if you just like move a little bit so people can just take a screenshot of the reference, maybe.
Blank now.
Can you talk,
Oh.
Paula, so we can, so it shows you up?
Paula,
You might have to scroll if you're on a phone, you might have to scroll your screen to see both pictures. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
can I not spotlight two things? Can I not spotlight you and myself and my screen?
If they're on a phone, I think it only shows one. And they might have to scroll on their screen. I don't know. I don't do this on a phone. I only do it on the computer. So
It's okay, I've got it. I'll share it in the chat for everyone. So I know how to do it. Thank you very much, Paula.
thank
Everyone.
you. That was awesome.
Thank you,
All right, I
Lorraine.
will unspotlight myself then.
I'm doing it on my phone, and if you go to the screen where you see the people, you can see both her drawing and the picture, completed picture.
I'll give a few seconds.
Excuse me,
so
when people talk
can all
about phones,
catch up.
Somebody put
Sorry.
a picture in the chat. So thank you, Chris. The picture's in the chat. If you can click on the chat, the reference picture is there.
and when people talk about phones, can they say Android or iPhone? Because it makes a big difference.
I apologize. I don't know the difference for Zoom purposes. So I don't know if there's a difference on that or not, on how you view Zoom.
Okay, guys, sorry, I'm gonna move on if that's okay. The shading is going to take the longest, so we don't want to run out of time. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the facial features now that we have our main layout of the bunny in. So we'll put an eye in. So the oval for the head, the bottom head, from the central line, we can only see the bunny's eye that's facing towards us. So we'll put an eye in there, the little eye. That's a little too big for his face. There we go. You can give him eyelashes. You can make it a girl if you want. And then we'll shade it in all the way, shade it black. I'm just using the side of my pencil to shade it in. You can cross hatch, you can shade it however you like. Okay, and then we'll draw its mouth and its nose. So the nose kind of sits at the halfway point in the oval there. This bunny that I have the reference, it kind of looks grumpy to me. So I'm gonna try to make him smile this time. You can make him however you want. You can give him whatever expression. Let's give him a smile this time. Because it's a happy event. Okay, and then the bunnies don't have like an oval head, so they actually have kind of an indent in between where their chin lies, just kind of like humans kind of have an indent where their chin lies as well. So we just want to kind of put an upside down V where the chin would be. Given that kind of an indent there. Okay. And then you can just kind of give an impression of the eye on the other side, even though it's mostly in the shadow. You can't really see it, but you can kind of give an impression, okay? And then cover it up in the shadow. So that all part will be all in shadow. So make it dark there. And then we have some shadow from the face, upper face falling onto the bottom face here. So we have a little bit of shadow down here. Okay, I'll let people catch up because that could be really confusing. So I want you to see what I've just done. I'm just going to erase these reference lines that I've drawn previously because we don't need them anymore. You can erase those if you want. Just so they don't get in your way. They don't get confusing to you. You only want to keep the lines that you actually need. Okay, so give you a few seconds here to catch up. Okay, so we'll move on. We'll draw the nose indentation here where we kind of drawn where the nostrils should kind of sit. So we'll draw the nose indentation around it. And then you just kind of want to shade in the direction of where you think the fur will go. So if you see in the reference photo on the face, the fur is going in the direction, like kind of to the side on the direction where the, like on the left side, the fur is going to the left side, and on the right side, the fur is going to the right side. So you kind of want to draw it in that, you want to kind of shade in that direction. So you can give the impression, for it to be realistic, because if you just shade it in random directions, then it's not going to look very realistic. So make sure you're following the grain of the fur as if you were petting the bunny. That's how you're supposed to pet an animal. You're supposed to pet them in the plane of their direction. So that's how we draw them as well. We draw them in the plane of their fur, direction of their fur. And we don't shade in the nostril area here because we want to keep that white. Just shade around it, okay? And if it's shading around it, just gently, no, not a lot of pressure, just gentle pressure, just barely touching the paper. While we're shading, we always want to go from light to dark because we can always go dark, but it's really hard when we've laid down a really dark mark to erase it and bring it back to the light. So we always want to go from light to dark. And then at the bottom of the oval here, kind of want to go towards the grain of the face. Again, going really light towards the grain of the face. And start to darken behind, underneath the eye a little bit. Where the shadows kind of lie, where you see the shadows on the other side of the face, or you see the shadows at the bottom of the face, you can start to darken them a little bit. So you don't want to cover the whole face of the bunny in light and the shadow parts or in the fur. You want to leave some areas where there's no fur, because that's kind of giving the impression that's where the light is hitting. That's where the strongest light is hitting, that it's so white you can't even see the fur. And then give a little bit of shadow underneath the mouth here. Darken the mouth here a little bit, or at the bottom of the mouth here.
Yeah, it's okay, sweetie.
Oh, sorry, does anyone have a question? Okay, sorry, I thought I heard something. By the eyes, this bunny's got a lot of fur, a lot of dark fur. So give him some fur by the eyes. Again, we're going in the direction. So when you come to the oval, surround the oval with your fur. So the oval still maintains the shape. You don't want to cover that oval up under shading. And when we go to the bottom of the face, our shading will go at the top as well. So it gives the impression that the fur there is kind of going back and behind him, rising on top of him. So we want to, again, always go in the direction of the fur. So you see when I am on the right side, my directions are up and to the right. And I'm on the left side, my fur directions are up and to the left. So you want to maintain that the full way through. And then whenever you come to an intersection, like we did at this oval, there's a little bit of shadow that casts there. So you want to darken that area a little bit. So we can differentiate this part of the face from this part of the face. Okay, let's move on to the ears now. So we're basically done the face. We'll come back and refine a little bit after. So you're never always done with the painting or with the drawing until you come back, until you're done with every part of the drawing. So the face is not finished, but it's complete right now. So now we'll move on to the next part, and we'll move on to the next part, and then we'll refine everything once every part has some sort of shading in it, and we'll start refining things. So coming to the ear, again, there's an intersection here. We want to we want to be able to differentiate between the ear and the face. So we want to darken this part here. That's where the shadow is hitting from the face. And then a little bit lighter on the top. That's where the light is hitting. Again, we're coming to the oval intersection. We'll darken it a little bit here. That's where the shadow from his bottom part of the face is hitting on his ear. So it'll be darker. Darker. And then lighter as we move away from the face, as the light can finally reach his ear. And then I think this part of his fur is just a little bit darker than the rest of his fur, so we can darken it a little bit, get that impression. Okay. Move to the next side, next part of the ear. The same strategy applies. Dark where the shadows are hitting. Where we are coming to an intersection, where we're to a junction between two lines, where two lines meet. So one part of it will always be in light, and one part of it will always be in the shadow. And then just lighten it around. So the ear, this ears kind of go in different directions. It's not just one direction. The fur and the ear can go in different directions. So you can kind of follow your outline a little bit and give direction in that fur, and same with this ear as well. Follow your outline. You can have a little bit of the fur that's going straight up and down. You can have a little bit of fur that's going to the right. Okay, like that. And then we'll start with the bottom part of the body now, the top part of the body. So because the face is casting shadow on the body, right where the body starts and the face ends, there will be shadow. So it will be in shadow, so it'll be darker. So we want to start with a little bit of pressure, not too much pressure. We don't want to go right to the very dark right away, but we do want to start with a little bit of pressure, just so we know that that part of the body, that part of the ear is in the shadow. And again, trying to go in the direction of the fur. And in the body, you can have fur going in all different directions, especially because this bunny is facing towards us. So you can have fur that's going up and down. You can have fur that's going to the left. You want to curve some fur with the curvature of the body. So the curvature of the body remains. You don't want to make your bunny look flat. So you can curve your shading. You can go up and down a little bit. Do whatever. This is the fun part. Just kind of go with the flow here. Just as if you were petting a bunny, like try to feel how you would pet a bunny. That's how I try to like draw my animals. Try to feel how I would pet them. And then because this part of the body is kind of going to the back of the bunny. So it's kind of in the shadow more, because this part of his face is catching all the light. So this part of the body is not getting as much. So it's in the shadow. So you can kind of darken that area. Okay. And then just add random fur. You don't want to cover the whole bunny in the fur again. You kind of want to give some areas where the bunny's where the light is showing through and you can't really see the bunny's fur. So just go crazy with it. Just have fun, you know. Make your strokes different lengths so the bunny can have long fur, short fur, different sizes of fur. This is the fun part, so just go crazy with it. You can see that I'm not really putting too much thought into it. I'm just kind of trying to go with the grain. So now I'll add some curvy strokes here so I can show that the bunny is curvy. Add some fur that's poking out of his body a little bit, you know. Sometimes you can see that they're really fuzzy. You can see their fur. And get close to his body if you want. Okay. You can move down to the legs. We're done with the body, and we can obviously come back to the body. This is not finished, as I mentioned. We're never finished with the whole, with one piece until we're done with finishing. We're done completing, we're done shading the whole bunny, and then we'll come back and start refining things. So you can add more strokes if you want. You can leave it like that, like how I have left it if you want, and then just keep working on other things and then come back to it. Everyone has their own style, you know, like everyone likes to work their own way. So you can do whatever you want. I'm gonna move on to the feet. The feet, because the feet are at the bottom, they're not getting as much light, and this feet is kind of behind him, so you want to make it a little bit darker. Also, this bunny could just have like dark, some bunnies, you know, are like white on the top, and then they have like socks like feet where it's like brown feet at the bottom, so could just be that too. So you can kind of give it I don't want to take away this difference because I don't want to be able to see that. So I just erased the line here because don't want to be able to see that as much. So you can still have a little bit of just touch there that there is the body behind him, but you try to make it up and down so the feet has the most prevalence. So you can see that there is a foot there and the body is just behind it. And because the area between the foot is being covered with shadows, there's not much light getting in there. So you can even add a lot of pressure and just cover that area up in really dark. You want not a lot of light getting there. So that area is very dark. And we'll move on to the other foot. Because the other foot is facing towards us, we want to make sure our strokes are going up and down mostly to give that idea of that the foot is facing towards us. And then you can give an idea of the paw here by kind of curving, and then you can have like a curve for the paw. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I just curved the paw at the bottom here, and then just going in the direction of how this U is shaped and coloring and shading it, and then up and down just to give that idea that there are some digits there. So, but Hopefully you guys can see what I just did there with the paw. And then above the paw, just want to go up and down with our shading. And then again, as we come towards the body, it's free fall, you know, like do whatever you feel like, just going in the direction of the body, making curved ones here and there, making straight ones here and there, just following the direction of the body. Obviously not filling the whole thing, because we want to leave areas where there is no fur. And you can get out a little fur from where his legs start, so you can see like his legs are really fuzzy too, you know, where the legs start, his fur is coming out of where his legs start. So and again, when we come in the middle here between the two arms, there isn't much light that's coming in, so we see a lot of shadow in this area. Kind of drawing like a V will give that impression that there are two arms. So, and if you round those V up a little bit, then we know that the bunny has like this rounded arm here, rounded arm that's going down there, you know. So kind of give that impression that the legs are starting from there. Okay. And now we'll move on to the back side of the bunny. So because the light is coming this way, this part of the bunny is very much in the dark. So it's going to be much darker. So you can start apply a little bit more pressure when you're shading this area than you were when you were shading the body. And this part, the junction is very much in the shadow. So that's very dark right there. And again, I'm just going in the direction of where the fur would be.
Okay.
Have I lost anyone? Any questions? No? Okay. And then again, this part of his body, because the leg is in the front. You see the leg in the front. There isn't much there isn't much light that's going, so this is going to be very dark. This part is going to be very dark. Just underneath his legs, there isn't much light. And then we can bring from the legs to his body or her body, whatever gender you've decided to give your bunny. And again, we're putting pressure as we bring it back in. Don't want to cover up the whole thing, but you can have lighter pressure strokes in the middle because this part is in shadow, so there isn't much light, so there shouldn't be any paper showing through. So we want to have some parts that are darker strokes and then some parts sort of lighter strokes. Okay. And then this back paw that's kind of coming towards us, coming from the back, coming from the behind and towards us. So it is actually catching a bit of the light at the front here where it's coming towards the right. So the back paw back there will have some shadow, and then you want to put shadows where the digits differentiate, where you can tell that the digits separate from each other. You can put shadows there because not much light gets between the digits. And then just the rest of the foot, you can just go with a little bit of light pressure. Try to keep the front of the foot with white or showing the paper through because that's where the light is hitting. And just add a little bit of light pressure strokes here and there, just to show that just to say that the fur is showing through. Okay. And darken this area. So now we have most of our bunny complete. Now we have all our parts shaded in. Now we can go in and start refining where needs more shadow, where needs more darkening, where needs more lighting. We can use eraser. So most people think, yes, Lauren, I'll share my Instagram. I'll write it on the chat. I just couldn't figure it out earlier after the classes, and we'll do that. So sorry, I was saying that eraser, most people just think that it's just to erase, but eraser is actually a tool as well. So you can use eraser to create the areas of light and take away the areas, so you can actually use the tip of your eraser to create very tiny strokes with your eraser as well, where the light is hitting the most. So now it's just kind of playing back and forth with just eraser and pencil and just darkening some areas and taking away shading from some areas to create the sense of light. So we'll darken the mouth to emphasize it, darken the nostrils because the nostrils don't really get any light. So by the by the ala here from like the nostrils, I guess, or not the nostrils. Like it is called the ala. I don't even know what the layman's term for is, but you would just darken it here because it's casting a shadow on this side and on this side. And then make sure you're going in direction of the brain and then as well as in the direction of the shadow. So the shadow is being casted at the bottom because the light is coming from the top, but the fur is going to the right. So you want to make sure you go in both directions in that area so you can give impression of the shadow as well as the fur.
Yeah, it would.
And you guys can keep working on this as much as you want. I think are we almost out of time? You can add a little bit of shading in the nose so the nose doesn't look as flat. You can add a little bit of shading by the mouth, give a sense of the fur there. Okay. And then you can give him a little whisker spots where his whiskers would start. Hold on. whiskers. And that's pretty much it. You can keep working on it as long as you guys want, but that is pretty much it. I hope
Hey,
you guys enjoyed it.
Can everybody show us what they drawn? I want to take a still shot.
Yeah,
of-
that would be lovely. I would love to see.
I'm gonna put the
Yeah,
view up.
can you remove
Yeah.
me from the spotlight so I can?
Yep.
I would also love to take pictures of some people.
Hang on, let's make sure we get everybody in here. So don't move it too soon. Look at all them bunnies. What is a group of bunnies called? Like cows or herds.
Oh, I wish I knew. I feel like I'm gonna say fuzzies, but that's not right.
Does anybody
don't
know
know.
what a group of bunnies is called?
Or can someone Google it up really quick? Okay, let me figure out how to not send a direct message.
All right, let's see what Google says. What is a group of bunnies called?
Huh.
So I get colony or herd. Fluffles. Not fluffy,
sounds-
but fluffles. Yes, fluffles. Rabbits can be called colonies, fluffles, herds, warrens, or nests. So fluffles would go really well with this group. This is awesome.
Guys,
These
I'm
are
also putting my Instagram on the chat as well. So if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, and then I'll also put my email in the chat as well. If anyone has any questions about the drawing or about just anything in general, art related, you can just reach out to me. Or if you just want to talk to me, that's totally fine too. I respond to I love making new friends. So if you just want to reach out. I also do commissions. So if anyone would like anything particular painted for yourself or as a present specifically for you, we can talk about that as well. So if you guys are interested, please do reach out. I am so sorry, Paula, I interrupted you.
Oh, that's all right. We've got our fluffles. We've shown them. I want to thank everybody for coming. Again, if you know of anybody who's looking for a very part-time job that is out west of, I'm in South Carolina. So right now we're only doing the United States. I am excited to say that eventually, hopefully in 6 months to a year, we are going to go globally looking for more employees. So those of you who are in my classes and might want to earn a little extra cash, then look forward to that. And look forward for our emails. If you are interested in getting information on doing events for us, you can send me your email just to me, if that would be awesome. And if you haven't put where you're from in the chat, that would also be wonderful. We've had people from all over, Austria, Vietnam, Canada, of course, UK, Glasgow, just all over today. Washington, Austin, Texas, yes, Texas and Toronto. Yes, thank you guys. So I got almost, I had 48 people tell me earlier. So out of the 70 of us that were in here. So thank you. I appreciate you guys giving me this information. It just helps my bosses and my advisory board let me know that we need to continue going out. So, all right, everybody, I am going to stop the record now, and you have a great day.
Thank you very much.